skulls.
I was trying to move my mouse. I need to buy a new mouse, Matt. I'm looking.
Afraid it's going to be quite vicious. That we're live. We're on camera.
Like, hold on. We need to move people around here.
Can they hear us?
They can hear us. They should be able to.
I'm not here.
You are here.
Don't put
So
me on
yeah,
camera.
we've got a debate going on tonight. Are gill slits parts
No.
of the inner ear, or do they help you breathe underwater?
And do I get to have an opinion on this?
We find out the truth now, you know. So, Richard, would you like to fuck this mouse? Well, it's technically the ash on the table, but that's my fault for smoking weed too much. Bree, would you like to make an opening statement about gills and embryology?
Well, good grief! I would just like I'll come in and explain it. But yeah, this is not new information or cutting edge or anything at any point at all. That the middle ear of the human evolved from the gills of a fish is well known scientifically. I have let's see, middle ear of human evolved from fish gills according to study. This is 625 of 22, so this is recent. So it's not something that's just now coming up. It's not something that's speculative in any way. Let me drop this citation into the side chat and into the live chat out in there. The evolution of the sporacular region of the jawless fishes to tetrapods. That was the name of that paper right there. But I'm going to read the article for it because that's in layman's term, and we're all going to enjoy that a lot better. I'm not going to read it verbatim, probably, but I'm just going to skim over it.
Just
with it.
Don't talk
the
about
middle
reading
ear
it. Just
of
read it.
humans evolved from fish gills. Need I say more? Thank you. I yield my no. That is the first line of this article from June of 2022. So I digress. According to the study of a 438 million year old fossil fish brain, scientists discovered the fossil of the brain case of a shuyu fish, despite the skull only being the size of a fingernail. They were able to recreate 7 virtual casts of the brain. They also unearthed the first 419 million year old armored gillaspid fossil, completely preserved, with gill filaments. Gill filaments. We got some imagery here too. If we could pull this up, let me see. Are you set up to present, Robbie, or no? If you're not, you're not. It's fine.
I could, but I can't be arsed fiddling.
Yeah, I know. I kind of figured that.
I know. I really do need. I know.
Yep, debate but no share screen. Is that fair, Bree? I don't know about this host.
Especially something
I don't know.
that's so visual, right?
Okay, there we go. Hold on 1 second, just plonkers. Right, screen 1. There you are. Right, give me a second.
That one's mine, not Bree's.
Where's Breeze then? Breeze not presenting.
I wasn't presenting because I didn't know if you. I asked if you were set up to share first, babe. Let's see. Here we are. There you go. Just that little screen, huh? That'll work. I can make do with that. All right, so we can see the structure of the fish and the preserved gill filaments, right? In this imagery here, scientists discover a 438 million year old fossil of the brain case of a shuyu fish. The image shows the 3D virtual reconstruction of the shuyu. The middle ear of humans evolved from fish gills, according to the study. Let's read on. The team from the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology of the Chinese Academy of Science found the spherical slits behind the eyes leading to the mouth, which
all
allow
I see,
some
Bree,
special
if I
breathing.
can, Bree, if I can,
Yeah.
all I see is you are boring, get a job, and this fucking ad flashing about car rental thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Totally distracting.
Okay. Yeah. I will. I just wanted to get to the spherical part because what is the spherical? Some of the most basal fish.
Oh no, I'm just saying,
Species
get
have-
a fucking ad blocker. Get
You
an
can
ad blocker.
I can stop sharing now. I don't. That was Newsweek. They of course.
Oh,
that's
give me
gonna have-
warning! Give me warning! Now there's a giant thing on the screen that just says.
I don't go to sites like this usually. But I had to fucking pull this together because Robbie's like, come in here and argue with Richard about gills. So
I did not say that. What are you talking
kiss my
about?
butt dark into it.
That is kind of like a typical Robbie setup for like a person to
I was-
somebody, right?
I was lured in here. So when we talk about gills, gills are just advanced spiracles, but they have little bones in them to help them pump. Well, some of them do. Cartilaginous fish, of course, they went off on their own, so they don't have the same kind of little pump that bony fish do. You know who's a bony fish though? Me and Richard and Robbie. Probably Savage Minnow. She's a bony fish on the screen there. We could actually use this as an example of this type of gill. But there's a little,
I'm a bony fish.
yeah, there's a little hinge in there that they can move and wiggle around, and it can also pick up vibrations. So that is how. First of all, was to it was in the
Also
gill.
hurt
Of course, then we evolved from fish that were they had adapted to live in very still oxygen depleted water, so they gulped air from above, so they didn't depend on their gills quite as much anymore. These fish can grab a mouthful of air and then go back under and survive for hours, days on that supply of oxygen.
Just if we're going to keep the whole debate thing joke going, then get your opening statement.
Do
down
you
a bit.
have I'm not keeping time. I'm not the moderator.
Oh no, I'm not keeping time. I'm just saying that we're now diverging. And I
Is that
want
what I'm
Richard
here
to-
for?
I want Rich-
No. There's no diverging here. We're on the topic of the bone that and why the fish
hold
stopped
on.
using it to pump.
Hold on. When the moderator gets the person back on topic when they're wasting their time, that's interference.
Thank you. Yeah, I should stop interfering with trying to keep it on topic. I apologize.
That's
How is
right.
that not on topic? I was talking about why they stopped depending on their gills
I
for
do
pumping
understand
oxygen because
He's
they were
the host.
I understand that.
rainforest water.
I understand that. It's also a point of notice that both the moderator and the other person in the debate felt that it was off topic.
Okay, well,
Slam it
that's
down.
important.
Opening
This is
statement.
important for the morphology
I
of
didn't think
the,
that
No,
the inner
Bree,
ear and
Bree,
why it was
Bree,
no longer used
Bree.
for breathing and repurposed.
Bree, I
I
understand.
don't know the
Oh,
gill.
please, Savage, let me finish. If I could just speak, please. I understand every goddamn thing that you were saying is exactly on topic, and you're now going into the morphology and this, that, and the other, and the exact reasons of why you are correct. I wanted you to say an opening statement. Richard could make an opening statement, and then we could get to this discussion. Richard hasn't had
Okay,
a
yeah.
chance.
My opening
That's-
statement, I guess I should say, I am prepared to demonstrate that the human ear bone that we see in embryology is derived from the same bones that are used for the gills of fish. Therefore, we are the same. We are the same clade. Sorry, I didn't know we were going all formal like this. I thought maybe
No,
we
it
could
wasn't
just
formal. I
rattle
just
each
want to
other.
give. It's just a conversation. Is two people talking.
Does that mean that I hear through my gills?
Yes, baby. That's what it means. Hmm.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, Ox, thank you very much for turning up, Ox. I got that wee thing in PayPal. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
All right,
Richard.
go ahead with your thing, with your intro. I will be quiet now.
Okay. So my intro is this, that although it's true that the location of these bones that are the human ear do start on the neck in an embryonic stage and is reflective in fish embryos, fish morphology, that even though you can say something like they're related to gills, they are indeed not gills. And you can't say that whatever parts become ears come from gills, when in fact that's two different structures in the fish.
May I ask a question to both people involved in this? I'd like an opinion on both people. I think what Bree's trying to say and what Richard's trying to say is similar, but I think the difference in what it is that Richard's saying, sorry, I'll say what Bree's saying, if I can steal man. Bree's saying that they were originally gills when we were fish, and over evolution, these things then became our inner ear and parts of our ears, and that is shown in embryology. What I think Richard is trying to say is people thought they looked like gills. They were always parts of our inner ears and never had a function as gills. Is that what you're saying, Richard, and is that what you're saying, Bree?
Bree goes first in all cases.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's what I'm saying. Yes, that our inner ear bones are evolved from gills from fish ancestors.
Yes, they originally had a purpose of gills.
It is a homology of our clade. Yes.
And what I'm saying is what evolves later from near or part of gill is what becomes inner ear, not gill.
MathPig, I don't know if I followed that. Did you?
I'm not sure if I followed it, and he's talking to you. So
Can you go back over that slower with me?
Okay, in an equivalence, I could say something like, swim bladder becomes lung, we have lungs.
Right.
Okay? But it's like you're saying that statement, swim bladder becomes our lungs. Okay? But in fact, we never had swim bladder, and lungs is a derivative away from swim bladder. It's not a swim bladder.
Right. So
We as human or we as animals?
So even though there are lungfish, and they have lungs and swim bladder, what we have is a derivative of their lung, not of the swim bladder.
okay, I would not say that we have gills. I would say that that our ear bones are evolved descendant from gills of fish ancestors.
I think it's once too many times removed to make the statement accurately.
What function are you suggesting, like an abridged function?
Okay, you were talking about the wiggly bone. We've gone directly into conversative, which is fine.
The wiggly bone that hurts when you poke it. Go on.
The wiggly bone, the wiggly bone behind the gills, interior of the fish, evolves eventually in some other structures. Evolves eventually into inner ear parts in mammals. I'm absolutely fine with that. But they didn't lose a gill.
No, it
That
changed
became the
function.
bones.
Yeah, the bones changed function once the organisms no longer needed them to breathe because they were in this oxygen poor water, so they were breathing air from the surface.
That's fine.
They didn't need those anymore. They started using them more as to detect their surroundings.
That's fine.
Right?
That's fine. It's literally not a gill. It never was.
How is it never was a gill?
Never was is the thing.
Yeah, how is it never was? That's what I don't get. The genes that evolved were the initial function that those genes evolved to do was to pump water with oxygen in it through the body so it could filter out the oxygen to keep the blood flowing.
Okay,
right?
now you're saying that the rib cage and muscles around the lungs are the lungs. They're not. The supportive structures that enable the gill are not the gill.
But what is the gill then? The gill's the sum of multiple parts, right? The bone, the flesh, the skin tissue.
Well, we started off with slits, and at least intuitively
Actually,
right
they
now.
were round originally, not slits.
Fine. But we started off talking about gill slits.
Yeah.
Not the origination of gills. We
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
talked
gill
about the
slits.
Round and
origination
then
of gills.
slits, and then the ones with slits and the round ones have to keep moving all the time. And then they developed the ones that could pump. Those developed,
Which we
evolved,
see often in common
so
fish,
that
yeah.
fish could live in less
Still waters
yeah,
without
they
swimming.
could sit still and pump the oxygen.
Right on.
Absolutely. So you're with me. Okay.
Right.
So they had that. That was the function was gill, right? This is gill. So then
Yes,
they move into
No, that function is not gill.
that function is not gill. Okay.
No,
so-
that function makes the gill work better, but was never gill. The gill being that which brings oxygen oxygen into the body. That's a gill.
So let me see if I follow what you're saying. That because it's closed, because our gills close in development, that they're no longer.
No, I said they never were gills.
Why not?
Okay, to say that they were gills is to say every supporting structure that is necessary to gills working is gills. It's not. What I'm saying is, you have like the flap that moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and inside of that you have several smaller fine structures that collect gases, right?
I'm with
And
you.
it's joined on one side and top and bottom, right? That's a gill.
Right. I'm with you.
The
That's a
muscles
gill.
that move a gill are not the gill. The bones that enable the muscles are not the gill.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess that's the difference between a spherical and a gill. But the fact
Fine.
that the ancestor, the fact that what you're talking about with it having the slit with, more complex, a little bit more complex than a spherical, right? And absorbing oxygen from
Sure.
the environment. So the structure is a gill, right? All to me, and I guess it sounds like you disagree with me. The gill is made up of the flap, the bone, all the parts to collect the oxygen. That's all the gill. Kind of like your lungs, are made up of all the different.
Don't turn this into an
bronchial
OnlyFans, Bree. Stop rubbing yourself. Stop rubbing yourself.
But these are
Oh,
my
sorry.
new boobies, and I want to show them off.
Your top's too high then.
Yeah, I'm not wearing the right kind of stuff for that anyway. I wouldn't.
And you shouldn't have worn black if you're trying to show off anyway. Black is only slimming, but it hides every curve.
Well, I sit in the dark too, so it doesn't help.
That doesn't help.
I look like a floating head.
Okay, I just wonder. Okay, first of all, since we're talking about human embryo and the similitude, in physical appearance from the outside of gill slits on the neck during development, if that's what we started with, then we can't go back beyond that. Okay, we can't go back to sphericals, so sphericals are not part of the discussion.
So, I mean, in embryological development, the slits on the neck, I believe they
Sure.
start off with just the dots. It's just like the sphericals. and
That's
then-
cheating. They're never sphericals. They're not circles. They're not donut-like.
So they're not sphericals and they're not gills. So we're really this is gonna come down to the semantics of what we consider the structure. Then I guess.
Well, that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to drop, in all fairness, where our starting point was human embryology, not fish embryology. So we can't go back to sphericals at all, and it should be stricken from the record completely, because it was never part of the conversation actually.
Okay, I can agree to that. But we will need to define gills because there's different kinds
Yes.
of gills. Arachnids have gills. Crabs have gills.
Sure, we were talking about
Different
fish though.
organisms. I know, but now you're talking about what constitutes a gill, and it has to be this
Yes.
thing, and it can't include these other parts to it. But all these other organisms have gills too that don't have the part you're talking about.
Fair enough, but we were talking about fish.
Structure. So what defines a gill for a fish?
Yes,
Yes.
that's perfect.
What
In
defines
your
a gill?
opinion, what defines a gill? You already stated that.
Yeah.
You said the outer flap, the joining tissues, its
Specifically in
ability
fish,
to
yeah.
hinge, the muscles that support that and control that, and the bone structures that necessarily support that.
In the same way, okay, now listen, this is in the same way that my nose is, the the cartilage structure here,
Sure.
the nostrils here, that contract and expand,
Yeah.
the nasal passages, the septums, the glands, the
Sure.
mucus glands, all of that is my nose. In the same
See,
way,
I draw the line at mucus glands.
mucus glands are part of my nose. They're right here.
No. You have mucus glands in other places that is not nose.
But these ones are part of my nose. I didn't say all mucus glands are part of my nose.
See,
Noses include mucus glands as part of your sinus system. Your sinus system is, there's at least part of it that's part of your nose. I mean, all these things make up what a nose is, right? So a gill's in the same way to me. So,
Okay, are you willing to alter your definition of gill? And if not, then the debate is over. And am I willing to alter my definition of gill? Or if not, the debate is over. But I would like to find some middle ground in this and say what are and are not the structure gill, not any supportive structures. Because if I mean, where do you draw the line? I have a bone in my nose, therefore my skull is nose.
yeah, it's kind of like the sum of your parts, right? You're more than that. It's the complete function, because you wouldn't say, even though elephants have sinuses in their nose way down on the end of their trunk, you wouldn't say that those aren't part of their nose, right? You wouldn't say that's not part of the
Right.
trunk. So where do you draw that line? That's
Right.
an important distinction to make. And when it comes to biology and the way that we talk about the morphology of organisms, it comes into play on Evo Devo, especially like the way that certain arthropods reabsorb certain parts of their body or a certain number of legs as they develop. Things like that definitely are important factors to take into consideration here when we're talking about what is a gill, what is a lung.
Sure.
Because you can have a lung and a gill. You can have a gill that feeds a lung. It's
See, I hold that the strict definition of gill can't import things beyond the joints, things beyond the connecting tissues.
what if we call the gill the intake structure?
See, that's smart of you, and it's tactical of you. But if I conceded to that, I'd already have lost the debate, and I
Right.
won't.
I know you
So that was
please.
smart, but I'm smart enough to see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna have to try
Oh.
harder than that.
Oh my gosh, Richard.
Let me just, if I can just address the very, very slow person in the chat, as was shown when they had a discussion with Richard. Bree, simple question: do humans have gills?
Do
No,
humans have
just
gills? No.
for very simply for the simple folk in the chat.
No, humans
Okay.
do not have gills. You
Another
cannot breathe
question.
underwater.
An-
Do not try. Safety first.
Okay, another
First.
question, which would be what I've tried to put across, is the statement and the topic of this discussion that through embryology, you would be under the understanding that we see gills and they evolve into the inner ear, they change, they morph into the inner ear in embryology, and that is a sign of evolution. And Richard's point is, these things is just a morphology. We just thought they looked like gill slits. We just said that they were always an inner ear. That is the discussion for the little silly person in the chat that can't keep up. Not that humans can breathe underwater. It's not water word.
Please don't try. That's my ultimate. I
require-
cannot tell you how to live your
Yeah.
life. You have your libertarian free will. You can use that every day of the week. But the people that care, there probably are people who care about you, though. That's all I can say. So
Yeah, please
Richard.
don't disappoint them. Yeah.
Richard, would you like me to put the link in the chat so you can have someone on your side who's defending your point?
I wouldn't.
Teammate!
Nobody needs that kind of help, bro. Nobody.
You dirty liberal.
Yeah. Yep, I'm just a dirty liberal. Okay, so So my argument is that you can't call the supportive structures of the gill, because they're literally not. And it's no part of the gill that becomes the inner ear in future evolution, but it's some of the supporting structures and some other structures that become the inner ear. So you can't ever say that human inner ear evolved from a gill. And you would say, to make sure I can steelman you, Bree, you would say all of the necessary supporting structures are part of the gill. Is that correct?
Yes, the oxygen intake structures are in their entirety, in the whatever mechanisms are included, including musculature and bones, to provide that function, are all together the conglomeration, the gills.
Great. Okay, so do all fish that have gills have the ability to flap them?
No.
Are they still? They're not gills.
Are you saying sharks don't have gills?
Yeah, according to your definitions.
No, they still have the air intake apparatus. They don't have as many features and parts to it as we do. But again, we'll go back to my elephant analogy. You have a nose, the elephant has a nose. You'll have very different noses, though, and different features. You don't have nearly the musculature in your nose that an elephant does. Sharks have multiple slits with little to no musculature to move them, at least in comparison to bony fish.
Okay, I'll grant that.
Right?
I'll grant that they still have gills. Do some fish that have gills pull water into their mouth and then push it through the gills?
They can, yes.
So the mouth is gills.
The mouth is a second intake apparatus, much like your mouth and your nose are separate.
Okay, but you said the breathing apparatus.
This breathing
Is the
apparatus.
mouth?
You have two breathing apparatuses, right? Would you say that?
I absolutely do. I have two ports.
Yes.
Okay, into my breathing
I
apparatus.
have three, but we work with what we got.
No,
1, 2, 3, I guess, if you're going to be correct. Yes.
I like the way
Okay.
Richard's wording though was into my breathing apparatus. There is only one hole in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not my breathing apparatus. In fact, nothing is until you get to the bottom of the esophagus leading to the lungs.
Yeah.
Then you have the brachia, and then you have breathing apparatus.
Maybe breathing
Could I make an
apparatus-
analogy in the definition?
Intake apparatus is, I guess, the term that I meant to say.
Could I make an analogy to see if this helps both of you communicate a wee bit better? Although I
No,
think
we're
these are
just having
both
fun. We're being stubborn on purpose.
Oh, I know. I'm doing this mainly
Ours
for the.
is to keep you entertained, Robbie.
Oh no!
What
The
your friends
audience.
do to entertain you.
Sandy did a perfect description. Are they not just violently agreeing?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Because Bree doesn't actually have an argument. The fact of the matter is,
Right. Yeah. Can I make my statement? No, let me make my statement. Right. I think if the topic of conversation was name a vehicle that give me something that moves. What is the reason that we move forward in a mechanical vehicle? Someone could say car, and Richard's fighting that there's cars and there's motorcycles. You're basically arguing the same fucking thing, but Richard's definition, I think, is very, very specific on what a gill is. Now, in a genuine nature, not fighting back and forth, trying to understand, I would say that Bree's definition of a gill would be more encompassing. Like, she's including the entire car, where Richard's saying the thing that makes you go forward is the engine. And Bree's like, it's the car. You don't go forward without the car. And Richard's like, yeah, it's just the engine that makes us go forward.
Yeah, when you describe it that way, now the live chat is on to us, and you've just ruined the whole debate, Robbie.
I'm
No, I can liven
genuinely
it back
fucking
up.
interested. I'm giving this fucking effort. You're motherfuckers, the whole fucking lot of you.
Yeah.
I could pick it back up anyway. Obviously, my interlocutor is uninformed about having definitions. The fact of the matter remains that you cannot include a lung rib cage and that internal structure below your skin as part of lung. Now, you could think of it that way because it's necessary to lung, but you would never think that the rib cage is the lung. In the same manner, the gills that operate independently or by force, and everything that's necessary to whatever species, in order that they do breathe underwater, cannot include the mouth, although opening and closing the mouth in several species is necessary.
Some also absorb the oxygen through their skin, so there's that too.
Those aren't gills.
Let's get complicated about it.
But those aren't gills.
Those are not gills.
Oh, we agree.
Yes, those are not gills. And if someone told you they are, the amphibians do that today. Frogs and stuff. There's
Humans.
fish today that do too as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a response here, and just if I say anything wrong, you just shut up and let me keep going until I say you can talk. All right. So what I am saying is,
Can
that
you
there are
see the
multiple
stream, Bray? I
ways-
put you and Richard at the top. I'm way at the bottom. You just keep doing what you're doing.
that there are multiple ways in which organisms, animals specifically, take in oxygen. Humans, like me and Richard covered, have two oxygen intake apparatuses, which are our noses and our mouths. We can take oxygen in through these orifices.
Oh, keep saying
Fish.
orifices. Go on, say it again. Go, go.
Orifices.
There you go. Better. Back to me.
And
That was slightly suggestive. I'm not sure that belongs in a debate.
Oh, no. This is not a debate. This is here for my entertainment. We agreed this. Continue.
I hope you're
so,
entertained.
fish also have oxygen intake apparatuses through their mouths or through their gills. While mouths are something we share in common, and we all agree that the parts of your mouth include your lips, your teeth, your tongue, the roof of your mouth, it's just an example. All these things are part of your mouth, and much the same way, the bones and muscle tissue that pump the oxygen through the gills of our ancestors was indeed part of the gill, and remaining of that part of the gill is a tiny bit of bone that we have slowly over hundreds of millions of years adapted to pick up audible vibrations in our atmosphere that we call sound. Right.
Sounded like an opening statement. You're a bit late.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
No,
I
that
didn't know if
was-
we're doing closing statements or.
Oh,
what they are.
oh, yeah.
Well,
Good,
as a
good, because
closing
I just posted
statement,
the link. I just posted the link. Excuse me, this is my stream and all about me. All right. I just posted the link in the chat, so I think Flow State might jump in. Logan Fisher's pretending to be Vsauce, so feel free to jump in and prove that you're Vsauce, because that'd be cool if Vsauce was here. Sammy is out there. Link's there. We've got. Yeah, we only have 2 slots at the minute available, so get first come first serve. No trolls, no penises, okay? No random porn. Don't
Wait,
bother.
what?
Oh, I'll not even talk about it. You know the way we have.
Please
What if it's just tightly wrapped in like spandex?
I had somebody join following Wildheart the other night that came from his channel. Lovely guy.
I really didn't want to think about this right now, if you don't mind.
There you go. Badness. Just badness.
Did it happen again, Richard? Did you get porn bombed?
I didn't really want to think about this right now.
How about we think about how cool Nirvana is? And
I
did
do like
anyone see the
Nirvana.
right? No, seriously. Did anybody see the poster, the picture? James Cameron has recently released the new movie Avatar: Way of the Water. Right, and I have been very much excited for it. For number one, the visualizations of it and all of that, but to see where they go. The reviews have been shit. I've even tried to convince my daughter to watch Avatar 1 so I can take her to the cinema so we can watch Avatar 2 together. Alright? And she doesn't want to watch it, but doesn't matter. The movie is just a bomb. It's just shit. Everybody's like, it was a waste of 16 years, this, that, and the other. The reason I mention Nirvana is one of the pictures that I seen was the main character from the first Avatar's child, I do believe, swimming underwater that looks like the cover of the Nirvana album. The water's the same. The avatar's the same. It's just a... I'm ripping off that little baby.
Is his wiener hanging out and he's got a fish hook he's going after?
Never mind, baby. Yeah.
Oh. Was his blue wiener out?
No.
Okay.
There was no blue
They don't
wiener.
have wieners. They have
Do you know
ponytail
that?
wieners.
That
I don't remember. I saw it in theater, the first Avatar in theaters, and it was
And we want to hook up our ponytail wieners. You hook it up to your horse too, to drive your horse or to fly your dragon.
ponytail wieners. That's something new.
Did you know that little baby had recreated that picture as he got older for money a few times? And
Yeah,
then,
I did. And he
sued
also
them.
tried to sue them once.
He then sued them for it. Yeah.
He's really like riding the coattails of his own baby photo for his whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
I think it's hilarious that like part of the statement, like the what's it called, the first initial statement to the court, where the complaint was that he because of like the over the years the updated photos of it, he could not go out in public without knowing that like all these people had like seen his little baby wiener. But it's like,
Okay, we need to stop talking about baby wieners and go back to gills. Richard's trying to get back to the baby.
Baby, the algorithm won't flag that. That's not a phrase.
No, but the thing is that like if you had not signed up to like ride the fucking coattails and like redo that photo shoot so many fucking times, nobody would be able to fucking associate your face with your baby wiener, all right? Like your face has changed enough. Like we would not know, but whatever.
I didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it now, but it is true. Like, I bet more people have seen his dick than anybody else in history.
That's probably true. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, maybe like the guy who like posed for the David.
You think David's been seen more?
Gives me and Richard something to shoot for, something to aim for.
Yeah.
Show
Well, you
more
can see-
people our dicks than the Nirvana baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be quicker to just say, Sammy, in reference to that, thank fuck for having this set up and it being bounced behind screens. Because if anyone can see what the troll popped into the freaking thing in the live chat. So Richard, gills.
Wait, hold on. Let me plug something real quick. Because I almost forgot. So, McKinnon Mitchell, the guy who wrote the documentary, and wrote and directed the documentary, The Weakness of Ken Hovind, he has a new documentary come out that I am second chair director on about Anton Lee Thomas, the individual who killed his spouse and child, and his spouse's other child as well. It was pretty.
Well, this is just getting a better stream minute by minute, like.
There's
Yeah.
we did a documentary about it. It's really good. We're premiering it on the 26th. We're doing an after show that I am producing on my channel, or not my channel, but on his channel. So if you aren't subscribed, we'll try to drop his link into the side chat. Go ahead, Richard.
I've decided to change my source. Please continue.
Wait, are we? So we are doing a definition for sure.
I'm trying to do
I
that.
want, the most trusted source, of course. So I'm going to Wikipedia.
Starting point, not source.
The extremely reliable and scientifically accurate by academic and layman alike, Wikipedia
I'm with you.
defines
I'm
gill
on
as
Wikipedia right now. Good.
a respiratory organ that many aquatic organisms use to extract dissolved oxygen from water and to excrete carbon dioxide. The gills of some species, such as hermit crabs, etc., have adapted to allow respiration in a moist, blah, 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 surface area. All right. This says nothing about any supportive structures or anything like that. So,
Well,
and I'm not even going to talk about.
No, I'm cool. Let's look up respiratory.
I'm
organ.
sorry. Whose closing statement was this?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I apologize that the middle of my closing statement happened to fall in time with the beginning of your sentence.
Real to be spanked. Keep going.
Reclaim your time.
I'd like to reclaim those 10 seconds, please. I'm not going to use but half of it, but I'm going to gift the rest of it to, of course, Flow State, so that he can finish my closing statement as my partner in this debate, because I'll do anything to win.
Except let's
Me
go.
too. That's why we're partners.
Except
That's
team
what
up.
makes
No,
us
that's
partners.
a lie. No, Jill was
So-
here earlier. Jill was going to join. Richard said they did not
I said
want to.
anything to win, not anything to obviously lose with a bad partner. That's not what I'd said.
When you want to win, who do you call?
That's right. You call the Flow State. That's what you
Ghostbusters.
do. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you to my interlocutor, to the host of this debate, and to my interlocutor especially for conceding the entire thing in your opening statement and in your lack of being able to provide an accurate definition of what is a gill.
That was really good, Richard. Let's hear it for my partner.
I concede the rest of my time.
I just got owned, guys.
I feel that you get very badly
Nothing for you.
spanked and that you're smiling appropriately. Richard's head just went, what the fuck did I just get accused of? Your head
Actually, I
went
was
up
just
like
reaching
a
for my
fucking
coffee.
shot.
Actually, yeah.
Ooh, you like you keep your coffee sweet or
Oh, I like it light and sweet.
Microwaved. And microwaved.
orifice?
Ew. Don't even start
It
about
doesn't
the
come out as good when I
microwave
do it. Sorry.
I will fight you.
Who?
Anybody who wants to microwave their coffee.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with microwaving coffee again?
Right,
Don't
nobody
start
here has
with me,
admitted.
Richard.
Right,
Do
just to
not
say,
start with
nope.
me.
Nobody has admitted, and everybody said no but Richard. Richard just asked what was wrong with it.
I'm just
I don't
asking an
microwave
honest
my
question.
coffee,
I
so-
mean, I don't know.
I can see microwaving the water.
I'm gonna
Why?
need to.
Why would you microwave the water, Bree?
Why would you microwave the water, Bree?
How do you? Well, just
Yeah,
to heat
Bree.
it. Just to heat it.
No, that's wrong.
You heat it on the stovetop.
Kettle.
Why would you do that?
Buy a fucking kettle.
You fuck everything up that you touch, Bree.
I know,
Hell, turn the
right?
fucking heating on for 20 minutes. Get fucking hot water from the tap. That's better than... Why would you microwave the water, Bree?
Are you gonna make coffee from hot water from a tap? What's your? Do you endanger your child when they reach for the shower controls?
I actually use
what,
a
What
kitten.
is this thing set to?
Yeah,
I-
how are you making coffee with your tap water, dude?
All the worst people
no,
do
I
that.
don't make... No. Just to clarify, I use an actual kettle, all right? And if I'm in my mother's house, the water gets warmed, then it gets put in a proper tea metal kettle and put
Ooh,
on the
fancy.
thing and heated and stuff and all this, right? This thing must be dented. It's like hit with a hammer, 20 years, 30 years old fucking thing, right? That's how you make a cup of tea. I don't like warm drinks, right?
I
That's
don't
how
either.
have a kettle.
What I was making a statement about is if my choices is microwave hot water or turn the heating on so I have hot water from the tap, am I fuck microwaving the water? I'd buy a kettle. I've got two. I'll bring one with me, Bree. Have a
What
fucking
is
object.
wrong with microwave water?
I have an objection. Not
know,
only
microwave-
is there nothing wrong with microwaving your water, it doesn't affect it. It just agitates the water and gets it hot. It's the same as heating it any other way. There's no radiation. I'm going to pull out some citations.
No, it is
Uh,
literally radiation.
It's
Yes, but it's not the kind of radiation that's absorbed by water.
It is. Microwaves work specifically by
Exciting
by
water
vibrating the water
molecules.
molecules.
What are microwaves?
There's no
What do you mean?
reason.
I'm not
The
sure
wave
for this
itself?
debate.
Are you talking about the radio wave, or are you talking about the device?
No, not the physical device that creates them, but the waves themselves. You said they're
What are-
radio waves.
Can I just...
They're
can
they are radio waves technically. Or
They
Okay,
are
so
in the radio
you can
wave
use
spectrum.
You can use high pressure radio waves to agitate water. That is true.
We're
Okay.
talking about what a fucking microwave does, and we all fucking know it.
Dude, I'll
It
argue
jiggles the
anything.
water
You
molecules.
just don't know.
Water for
It
coffee.
agitates the molecules.
Don't
that's
microwave
right.
your
So does
fucking
boiling on
coffee.
the stove.
Go
Fire does the same
agitate your
thing.
own molecules.
All right, there is
Well,
only
agitate your
one reason. I
molecules.
just want to say, right? Hello, Scott. Thank you for joining.
Hey,
Thank you for
hello,
jumping in.
hello,
Appreciate it.
hello. Nice to
Uh,
see you guys again.
If you
There is
try to
one
defend
reason.
coffee microwavers.
Darling,
I
darling,
swear to God.
darling. Yeah, I feel your pain. Don't microwave your fucking coffee, right? There is one reason and one reason only to put just a mug of water in a microwave. Is it fuck to make tea or coffee? It is if your microwave is slightly dirty, you put a half cup of water in, you put it in for 2.5 minutes, the steam softens everything inside the microwave, then you can come in with the spray and you give it a clean. That is the only reason to put a fucking
What
cup
about
of
your
water in the
car
microwave.
is frozen shut and you need to pour some hot water on the handle to...
Do you not own a stove?
I don't have time in the morning. I'm always late.
You think that
Wait,
it's whatever.
You think a stove is faster than a microwave at heat and water?
No, that's why I use the microwave.
Right.
I'm asking Minnow.
Yeah, a kettle is gonna be faster for a small amount. For
You
a
think
large
so?
amount, like yeah, stove will be faster.
I was thinking the opposite. A stove might be faster for a large amount, but a microwave would be faster for a small, like anything a cup or less.
I
But,
just
but
think
either
this
way,
is-
don't put your grandma's silver tea kettle into a microwave. Do
Don't
not
put a
do
kettle
that.
in a microwave. I don't even own a
modern
kettle.
Really,
microwaves are-
metal is not good in the microwave.
not so
Right.
much now, man.
Depends on the microwave.
No,
But put a
seriously,
CD. Do put a CD in there. Put a CD upside down and microwave that because that's
It's gonna
cool.
make an annoying noise. People
I mean, it's
just-
fun, but
I have an objection to consistency within MathPig. He said you should not heat water in a microwave. Have you ever used a microwave that heated something besides water? And is it in true that indeed it's the water content in your
really?
food that's being agitated by the microwave? And if you use a microwave to heat anything, you heated microwave water.
Okay,
Buck 'em up,
water's
Richard.
not
this just
responding.
proves this just
Exactly.
proves my point that every single time I've tried to talk, people talked over me. I agreed with the point that the way that a microwave works is to excite water molecules inside the food. I agreed with this. You didn't hear me say the only reason to put a mug of water in a microwave. That was my statement, not to heat coffee. So
How about chicken? Did you ever heat chicken in a microwave?
this
Oh my
morning
God.
at work,
How about pizza? Did you ever heat pizza in a microwave?
always
Then
water.
you indeed.
Are we violently
heat-
agreeing again?
Yes.
Aggressively agreed.
Indeed,
Scott.
you did heat water in a microwave to consume it.
No, the only reason to put a mug of water. A mug
oh
of
my
water.
God.
I think the conversation was water, not mugs.
Yeah, but you,
Now,
Scott,
What about-
Composition of
Scott,
the
help-
container
help
was
Scott,
not
help-
part of the
help Scott.
criteria.
Scott,
When
so
you-
define atheist for me, Scott.
You need me to find you an atheist?
No, define atheist for
Oh,
me, Scott.
define atheist.
Oh, let's talk about the definition of atheism. That'll be fun.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Paul, right, just to shout out, sorry to interrupt, just as I said that to ask you to talk. Paul, you're in the chat. Paul, if you're free and in the chat, get in here. I really want to have a live stream chat with Red Pill Matrix. Like, you posted in as a comment in a YouTube video the other day as a reason for a flat earth, penguins have trouble jumping up onto Antarctica. And you actually numbered it, was like number 16. This is a reason that, like, come on, man.
that's valid.
Wait, what?
Shh.
I'd like to define the question better for, is it Scott? Is that the correct
Yep.
name in the red shirt? Scott?
Yeah,
I'd
that's
like to
me.
define the question better. Do you take the Anthony Flew escape route, which you think puts you in a position of not making any positive claim about what atheism is, or do you take the classical view that's honest?
I don't take the classical view because that would be kind of arrogant. For me, because I don't have that knowledge.
So
I'm
instead,
not omniscient. I'm not omniscient. If I was omniscient, then I would have scoured every part of the cosmos to know that a God either exists or doesn't. But because I don't, I can't really concede to
did
that
you not
classical
refer to
view.
yourself as an atheist?
Yeah, but in
When?
a colloquial sense.
So when was the last time you called yourself or self-identified as an atheist? When was that?
That was on Josh's show. That was 2 nights ago.
Have you changed your
Publicly.
position since then because you're about to?
No, I haven't changed my position really.
Okay, I'm about to force you to change your position. Would you give your definition of atheism?
Non-belief in God's presented like a local. There's local atheists, and then there's a universal atheist. So I would
So
say
you
I'm a
take it-
local atheist.
I can't believe I made a joke and this is how it's actually went. But go on ahead, Steve. I
Well,
mean,
this is
Scott.
big
I
fun.
warned you, Robbie. Might as well ask if atheists are rocks.
Are they rocks?
Yep.
Are rocks
Okay.
atheist?
No, there's that Bible verse about the.
Everybody who fucking says rocks are atheists are getting kicked. Swear to fuck. Not having that. Not having it. Gonna go back to the Steve McRae conversation instead.
You would kick me? You would kick me, darling?
You said you do not put the atheist word with the R word. You're getting kicked. Doesn't matter what. Don't. Every.
What
What about
fucking
the Rock?
He's
I don't
a bit
know
of
if
an
The
ass.
Rock
He's-
is an atheist or not.
I mean, I
Oh, you do it.
With a Kid Rock.
So I usually meet people where they're at. So if you were to say classical atheists, I'd say that rocks couldn't be atheists because they don't believe anything and they don't know anything. So
Right.
how could they deny or
Or confirm. So you
Or
do
confirm either way.
identify that the definition of an atheist is someone who denies the existence of God.
Well, the definitions are a funny thing. You can be fallacious to appeal to definition
But that's
because
what
you
you
have
just
to.
said. I'm using your definition, Scott.
My definition, meaning how I'm using it colloquially in a conversation. And here's another thing. This will even piss you off worse.
No.
When I'm speaking to theists, I may be a theist in a way, because another thing that I identify as a pantheist, which is
Okay.
a subset of atheism.
How?
Yeah.
Look at Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
No. I'm not talking to Stanford
Okay,
Encyclopedia.
that's another trigger. That's another trigger phrase. Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
You're just making stuff up to be triggered about.
No, I swear to fuck, that's another Steve McRae thing. Every time someone says a Steve McRae thing, they get
Who is Steve McCrae?
there you go. See?
You can't say that either.
I'm sorry, I'm just
Only
being
I'm
honest.
allowed to say that word. Right?
I don't like
Okay,
Stanford
but
either.
Scott, I'm talking to you. I want to know your definitions.
My definition, okay. So I would say I'm an agnostic kind of atheist, if I was being honest about it. So that's kind of like I don't know if there's a God or not, and therefore that
Sure.
informs my belief that
Did-
you can't believe. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to you? Like, if like unicorns, right? Like there may be magical rainbow farting unicorns in the universe somewhere. Do I believe that? No.
Okay.
Why do I not believe it? Because I've never observed one. I don't have any evidence for one. So I kind of
can
don't
send you
believe
some,
in that.
Have you ever seen
I
where a
can
rainbow
send-
comes
I,
from,
I
though?
will send you DALI 2 images because that's the first thing when I introduced DALI 2 to my daughter. She wanted a unicorn that farted rainbows.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so within the definitions you've given me to work with, Scott, I think it's fine to deny a particular God's existence as possible if it's logically self-defeating. So I would present the Catholic, the Christian problem of the Trinity. I'd make the LPT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I could make the argument from omniscience that it defeats will. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I could present either of those. So based on either of those or several other arguments, I would accept your denial of the possibility of the existence of the Christian God, if that's what you mean.
Like logically possible. If is the Christian God logically possible? You know, I hate to say this, but it depends on which version of Christianity we're talking about.
No, those definitions are pretty universal in the quad omnis and in the Trinity itself. The arguments are designed to encapsulate a broad spectrum of Christianity.
So, are you saying that in order to be a true Christian, appealing to the
Don't
no
even
true
try
Scotsman?
it, unless you're doing it for fun.
No, I'm asking you a very simple question. Would
Say
you
it
say?
again.
So, very simple question. I'm not implying this is what you're saying. I'm just asking. for clarification.
Mhm.
Are you saying that there is a true form of Christianity without appealing to a true Scotsman fallacy?
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I believe there's a consistent way to read the text that does not necessitate dogmatic Christianity, normally held, which those arguments are very effective against.
Say that slower. Say that again, because I'm not processing that. Say it one more time.
Say it without, like, yelling.
Is that there is a way to consistently read the Bible that doesn't comport with any Christian doctrine, but is consistent within itself, but then it doesn't describe the Trinity as espoused, and it doesn't describe God as quad omni.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. And that's the argument made like by many different denominations of Christianity. Like I used to be a Jehovah's Witness long time ago.
I'm sorry.
Sure thing.
Thank you. And
You
they
and Sammy should have
felt like they were true Christians because they had a particular interpretation of Scripture, and it was consistent. They could argue for consistency. Well, they could argue that way, and it didn't include the Trinity. It denied hellfire. It denied a lot of different normative doctrines. People.
I know you're looking
about.
at me. MathPig's raising his hand on his own channel.
I'm being respectful and trying not to be a prick. Scott, you're in America, yes?
Yep. Yes,
How
sir.
far are you from St. Louis?
St. Louis, Missouri, probably about close to 2,000 miles.
Okay.
Quite far. Okay.
Yeah.
We're having a get together for the community. We have booked a wee mini. I don't want to say mansion, but it holds like 10 people. It's not. It's like a mini apartment.
It's not a man. It's not even that big. It's like
It's not that big, but it looks like Elton John did the decorating in the 60s. It's all bright colors and pastels and all that. And we've got that happening for New Year's Eve weekend. For like Sammy's coming from Australia. Richard, up until the very last minute, has had to cancel.
by the way, Bree, if you could get info like check-in times and
we need.
out times, if we could get that info from
We've
you.
got
Just thinking my
t-shirts.
email about it. Yeah.
We've got a whole weekend planned with like hangouts and t-shirts.
Oh, cool.
Richard, I
And
was
there's still 2 tickets available.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's
Are
still
we
2
doing
tickets available.
karaoke or not?
Pardon?
We doing karaoke?
I don't know. Well, when I want to tell Richard about the bag. Do you know the gift bags that I have to make when I get there, right? Because we couldn't find gift bags that we wanted, right? And Savage thinks I'm an asshole, right? But sometimes when I go out in public and things like that, and anxiety and big groups and shit like that, I feel very uncomfortable. You know, it can be an instant where a lot of things happen in a different country and all this here, and sort of having to organize this, I'm a little worried. So I wanted everybody to feel as uncomfortable as I am. So we got gift wrap paper that has boobies, and then we've got ones that we were looking at ones that have big penises on them and hairy ball bags. And you all have to carry these around in the museum while we're doing the wee thing. Because I wanted
My
everybody.
thing is that they're not going to want to carry them around in the museum.
No, I want everybody to feel as uncomfortable
it's not about
as
the
me.
embarrassment of the boobies and the dicks. It's that they're not going to want to carry them around in the museum.
Exactly. They have to feel as uncomfortable as I feel naturally all the time. She thinks I'm an asshole for this. I'm trying to just bring everybody to the same level.
Is it okay if they just wear the wrapping paper?
Oh, that's even better. Like, I'll make a sash. We'll probably have some left over. Oh,
See,
no,
this is lightweight, comfortable.
Pardon?
Are there going to be children in this museum? I'm not carrying around porn. Like,
It's
No,
not
no, no,
porn.
it's
It's a
comic-
line drawing of boobs.
oh, line drawing. Okay, I thought it was like dirty magazine.
No.
no, it's
We're
like
not
a
that
W with 2 dots. Like,
Inside the bag, there may be stickers that are inappropriate, but the bag itself is fine.
they're not like pornography. They're like
See, all these things are negotiable. We just have to find a
No,
happy
not negotiable.
medium.
No. You're coming on my holiday, but hanging out with me, you're gonna feel uncomfortable.
I mean, make them sashes instead of wrapping.
That would be worse for the other people. They would then
Wrap
feel,
your people
No,
in
sashes
it.
might be
There.
better because you could like actually, yeah, you're not carrying something.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay. Everybody gets booby sashes. Brilliant. Thanks for clarifying. So Scott, if you feel like getting to St. Louis for New Year's Eve weekend,
Yeah.
T-shirts,
Cool, man.
all of that. It's
I
£70.
did need a cigarette holder for fancy joint smoking.
It's £70, and that covers 2 nights accommodation in this big fancy place. It covers food for the 2 days. It covers the museum.
Oh wow, that's not
You get a
bad at all.
t-shirt.
It's cheap.
It's not a fucking thing. Like, it's not Faithless
Mhm.
Form, or it's not better. It's mainly
Mhm.
just for the small group of friends in the community.
Okay.
It's not- you
Okay.
know. I'm
I'll
sorry to
definitely
talk about
check
this,
things
Richard,
out.
because I really want Richard to be.
Well,
Come
and
on,
Ryan was
Richard.
coming out to
No,
St.
no,
Louis
it's just
I
a
seriously
thing.
can't go.
and he
Richard
like
did.
really wanted to meet up with a bunch of people, and I just like I like seriously, Robbie, like you put a tear in my eye like when we were talking about it last night, because it's like you did so much work to like get like everybody, because like I would not have been able to just like afford to like get a hotel room and like all of the shit, like I wouldn't have been able to, but like with everybody like pitching in, and like, oh my god, he did like freaking spreadsheets and like this and the
I
other.
have a
and,
whole
like,
spreadsheet that's color coded. Don't even look at the spreadsheet.
And,
I
like-
want everyone to know that I did my part to pitch in, even though I'm not going.
No, just to point out, Scott doesn't know this. Richard actually did buy tickets for him and back, but they cannot now eventually get there because of circumstances. So Richard has donated, and Richard and Beck have donated their tickets for other 2 people. Them tickets have been taken up, but there is 2 slots still available as well. But
Oh my
Richard,
gosh, that'd be so cool if Stephanie Helms was able to come. I love Stephanie.
What
and I was
city
able
in
to get a
Missouri?
group rate. We have
St.
enough
Louis.
people where I was able
St.
to get a
Louis.
group rate on the museum tickets, and like there was so we got some good deals and stuff too.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm just looking at online. I was way off. It's more like I'm about 725 miles away.
that's
only
not
like an
nothing.
8-hour, 10-hour drive.
And I wouldn't even
700
drive. I'd probably just take an airplane.
I can pick you up from the,
At that point, exactly. It'd probably be like a couple $100 to fly up there.
They have shuttle service already arranged for you to pick you up at the airport.
Yeah,
Really?
we've already
What-
got the.
What
Yeah,
city?
you tell us when you're flying in, yeah.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, St. Louis. Okay, yeah.
Lambert Airport, yeah.
Scott, you're
Okay.
in Discord. I'll send you. Hold on, give me 1 second, and I will send you my.
I'm just wondering when we're going to get to something important like back to the debate.
No, well, this hanging out with all. I'm sorry, Rick. I just got excited and then I got de-excited because. But this whole thing is like a big thing for me, you know, and it is.
It is
meaning
exciting. I'm really excited.
I'm fucking heartbroken. This cunt's not going to be there. I really
I know.
am. I hate talking
Well,
about it. Like,
Scott, we can pick that up some other time where I'm going to make you define that you don't believe in certain gods and are agnostic about the possibility of others.
that's
Oh,
exactly my point.
Define a god though too,
Sure.
so I can. Yeah.
No, I have to
Oh,
work
I
with your
love this.
definitions.
I love this.
Because you're the one making the assertion, I have to go with your definitions, not mine. Mine don't matter.
And the assertion. Can you repeat back to me what my assertion was though?
Your assertion is you hold the position, blah blah blah.
Okay, my position is that depending on your definition of Christianity,
Sure.
which would define the God, of course. So, depending on that, would inform me whether I would think that it was possible that there
Okay,
was this
on
God.
average, Christians claim the quad omni God. Is that possible?
I don't think so. No.
I
It
think you
seems to
can
be a
show
little-
definitively it's logically impossible.
Scott,
Right.
does your
It-
Facebook icon have a hoodie up?
Yes, correct. That's
the right
me.
one.
That's me.
There you go. Send
Yeah.
you a Facebook message. That's what the 70 quid includes.
Hmm. Oh, cool. Thank you, man.
Okay,
Thank
so Yes, in average, and we can get down to nuts and bolts, but in average Christianity, they accept the quad omni God. And if you deny the possibility of the quad omni God, you have denied the possibility of the Christian God, but that one alone.
Right. Right. So if
So
you
that
don't,
doesn't
yeah,
make you an atheist.
it makes you a local atheist. You know what a local atheist is, right?
I want you to say it anyway.
Yeah. Roughly speaking, it's basically someone who thinks that certain gods presented, or any god that they've so far been presented with, they don't believe in that god as possible, or they don't believe that god exists.
What is a quad omni god?
Just a minute. Channel owner has his hand up.
Would you agree with the statement in the? I would consider myself an agnostic atheist, or an atheist agnostic, or whatever, if a label must be put upon it. Right? Now, I'm not a big fan of labels, created my own and all that bullshit. But I would define an agnostic atheist, from my point of view, as I am atheistic towards the Christian God and agnostic in general. I live my life as if God does not exist, and I believe in scientism. You know, that's no. Look at her face. Ignore the last statement. That's atheistic towards the Christian God, agnostic in general. Live my life as if there is no God. That's in a short statement.
I can understand that.
To answer the flow state? Okay, quad meaning four, omni meaning all. The
Right.
quad omnis are omnibenevolence, omnipresence, omniscience, and oh my gosh,
Potent.
omnibenevolence,
Potent.
What?
Powerful.
Omnipotence. So omniscience, science, to know, right? Knowing all things, all knowing. Omnipotence, having all power. Okay? Help me out, Scott. Which two? I'm getting lost.
Benevolence, which is love.
All good. No, it's not
Goodness.
love.
Goodness.
It's good.
Yeah. Goodness. Yeah.
It's all good, which implies all the time, always good at all times. And in all places, omnipresent, all places at all times. So that's the quad omni claim. The problem from omniscience is, if I know something, it must be a fact in reality, or it's just a hypothesis. In order to say you know something means it's true. So if I know that in the future I'm going grocery shopping to a certain store on a certain day, by a certain means, with a certain amount of money, right, to buy certain items, I can say I know it. But when I get to the grocery store, it becomes unknowledge if I don't fulfill it. So you have a choice between knowing everything and having will. So since will is a power, you have the power of some amount of will, then it's obviously an available power. If God knows what he's going to do in the future, he has no will, he doesn't have all power. And that's only one argument.
It's a nice argument. I haven't heard that one before.
It's solid.
Yeah, it is. Because it brings up the contradictions. If you dig a little bit, it's going to bring in each one of those omni qualities are going to somehow rub against another one. So
Yes.
Don't be doing
And
no
the only
bad, dirty
claim they
Robin.
have left, sorry.
No, you continue.
The only claim they have left is that God created logic in order that God can defeat it. And that's just damn dumb.
now here's a weird way that I could, if I was to just play devil's advocate, I could turn that around a little bit.
Go ahead.
And say that contradiction because of the omni properties exists, but that's only within a framework. That's only within an assumption that space-time is fundamental. And the reason space-time has everything to do with it is because we get classical logic, which you're appealing to, classical logic, you only get that logic out of space-time.
Right. What created that
Right.
space-time according to the Christian?
Right. And so there's another way of looking at things to where you can say, well, God transcends space-time. Therefore, all those things, you don't know that all those things are necessarily contradictory at a fundamental level. It could be
Sure.
that all of those things exist simultaneously, is the best way to maybe colloquially say it. But all of those things can exist, but then within space-time, it doesn't make sense. It's kind of like quantum mechanics versus Newtonian mechanics, and then, you know, anthropohedron theory versus quantum fields or whatever. Like, these
Sure.
are two different domains. They're all
Sure.
separate. And so one set of laws don't necessarily apply
Sure.
to the domain of something more fundamental. And
To
so it
which
kind of breaks
I would
down.
I would reply to the Christian, first of all, that's special pleading. God's an
Yep.
exception. You have no basis to make a special plea since you haven't proven to me you're God. So you can't prove God by special pleading. Okay? First, show me the God, and then show me why it's an exception. Don't assume the exception to justify your God. That's bad reasoning. It's circular. Okay? The second thing is, if God is inconsistent, then
Thank you,
why should
Sammy.
I believe that logic should work at all? In other words, why don't I have things in the now popping in and out of existence all the time?
You do.
Because
I can
No,
tell
you
you, I
don't.
can answer that. I can answer that.
not on a macro scale you don't, and that's what I'm talking about.
No,
Inexperience.
not on the macro scale.
Well-
not on the macro scale.
I mean inexperience.
Well, your immediate primary experience is
makes no sense.
stuck in space time. You know, we have this object permanence that's kind of built into our psyche
Sure.
from the time we're young children. So yeah, but we're able to transcend that
As soon
knowledge.
as peekaboo
We're-
stops working.
Exactly. But we're able to actually transcend it through mathematics.
Yes.
So if you use mathematics to actually show that there's this other domain from which space-time can emerge from, then you've actually got the theorem, which theorem is different than theory. Remember, theorems are proofs.
Damn it. If you keep hedging your bets, I'm going to have a hard time with you. All right, so all right, so is this applied mathematics or theoretical mathematics you're referring? Because you said mathematics. Do you have any idea how big mathematics is?
Yep.
I'm just
It
glad
is.
he
It's
put an
huge.
S in the end of it.
Yep. But you can apply it as long as you have experimental predictions that come out of the mathematics, the equations that describe it. So if you've got some sort of experimental or predictive power to it, then at least you have evidence of this what you call a mathematical structure,
Yes.
which would be beyond the other domains that we were talking about, right? And so if you can
Okay, so-
demonstrate that, if you can demonstrate that mathematically, and there's no contradiction, and that it all works out in the equations, and you get out of that, you get out of those equations, it projects back all those other domains we're talking about,
Sure.
then you've got demonstration.
Okay, and if you show that, if you did that, what does it show?
It shows that quantum fields work around certain particular laws, different than, say, the ones that we're pointing to as the fundamental laws. And then from there, it needs to still project out into space-time, talking about evolution, cause and effect, all the things that we're applying in our classical logical arguments for or against God, whatever stance you have.
The really funny part is that you're taking like the religious position, and I'm taking the anti-religious position, which I'm having a lot of fun with, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard,
I think
can
the
I just
problem with
make-
that is if you're going to appeal to.
A few people have commented about your audio. Can you move your mic a wee bit further back? No, Scott, you're fine. Just Richard seems to be overly gainy.
Sorry, I just turned the gain down. Is that better?
Well,
Okay.
we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, it depends how excited I am in the moment.
We don't know.
Oh no. Okay, but now what you're saying is that these fluctuations are predictable,
Mhm.
right? And that these fluctuations cause these exceptions. Yes.
Hmm. Yep.
And you know that these fluctuations are randomly appearing.
Hmm.
How do you know that you, during all of your testing, you didn't get a random fluctuation which confirmed your test and your test is completely invalid?
Evidence.
Evidence
the
like
evi-
what? Without begging
Prediction.
the question of the fluctuation.
Prediction. So once you start making novel testable predictions of
Uh-huh.
behavior, and that those are met consistently over and over and over, they become knowledge. They don't become random. They become deterministic. They become sort of like predictive. And so you can say, well, if this structure actually exists and our mathematics are correct, then we should see this under these certain conditions. If you see that consistently over and over and over, then you can pretty much be valid or justified, rather, maybe.
I'm sorry,
in
what do you
your-
mean by pretty much? What did that mean?
Well, no, that's just my lazy talk. It wouldn't be pretty much. You would know 100% every time that that was going to be the case. And so now you still have the problem of induction. You can't say 100% that this is going to hold true 5 minutes from now, right? I mean, that
You mean
stands to reason.
uniformitarianism? in
Yeah,
induction.
but
Yeah.
right, but
Okay.
but still, you at least have justification, a strong justificatory case for
Well,
the
I have to
belief.
say I am thoroughly beaten. I have no rebuttals, and I now declare myself a deist.
All right, that's why I'm a
stormed
pantheist.
off. I'm stormed off.
That was fun. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome, man.
No, I've run out of knowledge. I can't argue any further.
Yeah, we would probably round up and stuff anyway. Maybe next 15, 20 minutes or so. I know you're not really supposed to tell everybody, but it is. I've got some things I need to do because I'm going to America in 2 days. The New Year's Eve party
All right.
is happening. But
Wow.
I'm going for
Where-
11.
We're at in America.
Pardon?
We're at in America.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah. So
I've been
doing
there.
We'll work around the room and see. Scott, you've been doing some things lately on the skeptic. What was it? Joshua was posted
David,
yesterday.
yeah. He's got Atheist Uprising, and so we've been talking about how atheists and believers and even unbelievers, maybe it's better to put it this way. This is the way I put it in the show. Is it's probably better to say that how believers and unbelievers can communicate and find common ground. And so that's kind of the theme of the or platform of the channel, because it's a lot more positive to open up conversation rather than keep shutting it down. Like, we can constantly lodge insults and ad homs and straw men and whatever. Let's figure out a way where we can meet some common ground and maybe even come to the truth together.
That'd be all right.
Why not?
Scott, you're doing this. You're in the community. You're following all of this for how long now? 2, 3?
I'd say really hardcore in it. I mean, I'd say about 5 years. 5 years, good 5 years.
Straight up question. Are you not
Mhm.
fucking bored to death with the fucking God conversation? Now, I like Richard, and that's a whole different thing. And me and him have more of a, like, our God conversations is more of an excuse for me to hang out with my
Mhm.
best friends, you know. But
Mhm.
I on a Saturday I try to do open panels and come up with a different thing, and I hate falling back on the God thing as a backup because I know that the audience will be there for that because we come from, we all correlated through an atheistic foundation, an atheistic base, how we met each other. But I am sick to fucking death to defining God and finding God and this, that, and the other.
Mm.
Outside of the atheistic arguments and say philosophy, because it would fall into that and stuff. is there things that you're personally interested in? Like, do you like to like make furniture when you're bored or something? Is there anything outside of this bullshit? Mac,
Oh.
thank you very much.
Well, this is the funny thing. I'm into flow states, so I'm into focusing on anything, since any kind of object that can see. In that, when I'm in a flow state, I get to leave all my problems behind. Like right now, I've got like a million things I could be worried about. Right now, I'm focused on this conversation with you guys, and because I'm doing that, look, like what I've been on here for a few minutes. It seems like I just jumped on, but I'm sure I've been here longer than I feel
Guts of
like
an
it.
hour or something like that, whatever.
You know, and so even though the conversation may be a bit repetitive and we go through it all the time, I don't know, I just get into it. I can get into that flow state when I start talking about these things, and it's sort of a spiritual or psychological, whatever language you want to use, kind of experience. And it doesn't matter whether I'm writing music or talking about God, atheism, whatever. I can go into work and doing my job, focusing on a problem. It gets you into a flow state, and that's really where my
Stop making them feel better.
comfort
Just
is.
say the zone, all right? Just say the zone.
Yeah, the zone. Yeah, the zone.
No,
yeah.
keep saying flow state. We like flow state.
That's right. The same thing.
But what I'm saying is
That's
there
right.
anything
Choke on
about-
your words. Take them back.
The fucking
Yeah.
It's fucking lovely.
You've been defeated.
No, do you
Your
have a
ego is
passion?
going down.
Do you have a passion that's not internet based? That's in your hands, in real life, in the right.
Yeah.
Could be your wife, could be your kids, could be building furniture, could be electronics, computers. Is there something in your life? I don't mean to be personal or anything like that. You
Yeah,
know, if
yeah,
it's
no,
a
I'm
kink and you
cool
like
with
to
that.
go and get beat up by like 7 foot tall crazy whatever. Just
Yeah.
is there something outside of all of this that you get joy from?
Man, a lot of things. A lot of things. I like to travel different places, meet new people. I like to play music, write songs, write lyrics, write poetry.
One that walks on the beach.
Walks,
All men
you
with
know.
a deep voice.
Yeah.
This sounds like a Playboy centerfold.
Do you like pina coladas?
I like pina coladas. Getting lost in the rain, baby.
Right, well, there you go. You like your first 5 points is exactly a reason why you should, like, come on up and fucking free T-shirts. What size are you in a T-shirt, American?
Large.
Do we
Yeah, large or extra large.
Do we have a spare large?
Extra large, I've got a spare.
Yeah,
there you go.
that'll work.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I'm
There
extra
you go.
large. Yeah.
We've got a new. It's like a pig with the fish as its eyeballs. So it's like a Math Minnow Palooza thing. Good.
Oh, cool, man.
You want to see
Like
it? I can show
souvenirs.
you.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All the pig sees is the minnow.
Whose am I gonna open?
Not yet. Give me 2 days.
I'm gonna open yours. Actually, I have already opened, so they're gonna
Yes,
see it in
me,
red.
but, everybody gets grey and white, I do believe, but me and Minnow get special colors.
Black and white or gray. Yeah.
I got a red one.
Oh, cool. Yeah. There you go. Nice, man.
Thanks. Designed it myself.
Nice. You did.
Yeah,
So you're
and
creative.
I was expecting your cigarette extender to be black. I love that it's red.
I have not rolled a joint in like 5 years, and I rolled that one with toilet paper, and it was.
Oh,
Oh,
seriously?
no.
Seriously? I love you and all the rest of it, but no. Use a Bible. Use a fucking Bible. Don't. Toilet
Look, right
paper?
between the Old and New Testament, there's
I
a
don't
blank.
have any papers or a Bible.
Crush a
Get a
pop
fucking
can like we
takeaway and
used to do
use
in grade school.
toothpaste. I have
I was-
fucking ordered a takeaway and used
I wanted to
greaseproof
use
paper.
the cigarette holder. I wanted to roll a joint. Like, I have pipes.
So much
I'm
bleach.
fine. It's just. I didn't want to go to the C-store.
I bet that tastes so bad.
I
it
cannot
does.
smoke anything more. Like, I
They're
started
rough.
with green Rizla over here, which are a medium weight, and you could have taken the red, which is a heavy weight, the odd time. Then you get down into the brown, which are like a very lightweight, but with a licorice flavor. Some people like that. Then you've got silver, and then you've got like pure fucking absolute nothing you can see through. And I've worked my way down, and now I can't work my way back up. I go, oh, I've got silver. Yeah, here, there's green Rizla. Can't smoke a joint.
Yeah, it tastes like shit.
It tastes
But
like
it's functional.
fucking paper.
Oh, that's funny. It was what kind of paper again? And it tastes like what? Okay.
Shit.
Got him.
Shit paper.
Right, Flow State,
just
you're next in
wondering,
the
was
fucking
it-
line.
Yeah.
What have you
What am I
got to
doing?
promote?
Filling?
What have you
Show.
got to promote?
Well, same thing as always. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Flow State. And
It's where
It's,
Scott goes.
That's where I go every day.
yep, he's all about it. You'd probably be all about it too. It's youtube.com/c/flowstate. So,
We've had Scott on. I think Scott's been very informative about who he is. He said he's an agnostic atheist. Him and Richard had a big statement and all that. I'm going to put you in the spot, Flow State. I'm going to say, what's your most controversial statement to get people to go watch your show?
my most controversial statement. That's on in a video or just across the board.
I
mean,
okay.
well, my
we'll
last-
change it,
my
no, we'll
last
change it
video-
from statement. We'll change it from statement.
Okay, so my
to
last
opinion.
video is it's not enragingly controversial. It's not going to enrage people. It's not like that sort of controversial, but
Don't
it's
get
about
me fucking kicked out and the stream well, the stream's demonetized anyway. But don't get it fucking banned or anything. But
it's not about the things or anything. It's about the purple streetlights. Do you have purple? Do you have that shit over in wherever the hell you're at?
Ireland.
Purple streetlights? You got any?
No, we have orange, very low quality bullshit ones that no good.
Okay, well, my last video is about purple streetlights because they're popping up here, and also about optogenetics, which it's interesting. You should check it out.
I need to look into optogenetics. Says to me,
Optogenetics is the ability to control organisms' behaviors, moods, and thoughts with light.
I do believe that they've actually put fiber optics into the brains of fucking cockroaches and went.
Well,
and
They've
remote-
actually controlled them with light by doing
I,
nothing.
I was
Yeah.
talking about this with Mark Reed just the other day about like what humans can see and what different organisms can see different wavelengths of light and they react differently to them.
I have been deliberately making an effort not to go onto the computer or use a video call after a certain period of time to start. Like if I'm on a call from 8 at night to 4 in the morning, fine. But I won't go on to a video call or load up the computer if I haven't been on it after maybe 3 o'clock night because of the spectrum and stuff like that. I'd be red light in the or red light at night, blue light in the morning. These are very basic things, I have a lamp in my room that I've set this colored sheet over the top of it, and it never gets switched off. It's a wee low powered, very low energy light that I never ever switch off, even when I'm sleeping. And
When
it
there's
helps
the
me wake
flicker
up in the
rate
morning.
too, they've been doing this with TV for decades. They set the flicker rate at one that lulls you into a hypnotic state.
Video games are set up to do that too. To keep
Oh yeah,
So
everything
not
is
all
like
video games. No, a recent study came
You
out
have
that
to
I
say
had a glance on a
semi-hypnotic.
paper, and kids under the age of 7 that play video games later on have been shown better hand-eye coordination and stuff like that.
I mean,
Bree,
that study sounds
next.
sort of like it was funded by somebody who somebody who's selling video games to me.
Bree, what have you got going? What Bree is so much fucking going on.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I have a lot going on right now, and then I have next month. Next month keeps piling on, but it's piling on with good stuff. And I have lots of cool collabs and things like that. So let's see. This week we have the next upcoming weekend. We have the 48-hour stream that Purple puts on every year for anybody who is alone at Christmas time. We have it going from it's from December 24th. Or it might be the 23rd, on up through Christmas in the 26th.
Depends on I think it's from Christmas Eve, Australia.
Yeah, the 24th to
depend-
26th. Yeah.
It's right across the world that covers all the zones, but depending on where you are. So it's Christmas Eve from Australia, right across.
So no one has to be
All
alone at
36
Christmas.
hours
And,
each
we
day.
still got some slots open if anybody wants to participate in it and has an hour or so to spare to do a show.
If Savage
we're here
lets
for
me
it.
leave the bed, we'll see.
I was gonna say, are we? Yeah, because we
Yeah.
might take a slot. Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Also on that same weekend, I got my Friday. This Friday actually, I have my new channel, which is the Global Animal Information Alliance channel. I am doing. I'm working on the name, Robbie, but I am
I
doing.
said nothing. I said
I
absolute.
love the name
Yeah.
Robbie. You jerk.
I am doing my Breathe Bestiary. And we're talking about reindeer because, of course, we are. It's Christmas time, right? Life in the Hive next weekend. Next month, I will be doing something with Emma Thorne. I'm not going to give you any spoilers on that, but I'm collabing with her, and I'm collabing with Aaron Ross. So, got a couple of things going on
Really?
next month. Yeah.
Is that on your channel, Bree, or will it be on his?
Most of it's going to be on his, but yeah, I'll probably mirror some stuff. I don't know.
Oh no! I just wanted to step in Peter's toes just to annoy him. That's all. If it's-
Oh yeah. No.
Some highlights or something. Yeah.
just being
Anyway,
petty.
I could go on and on because I got stuff up till February, but I'm going to give somebody else a chance to talk.
Richard, what have you got coming up?
I want to spend my last few moments tonight making Scott admit to my God.
All right. I admit to your God.
There you go.
No, not
That was
like that.
too easy.
Not just for fun, but for real.
For real. Why
For
should
real.
I? Well,
You've
give me a
got
good reason
7
why.
minutes.
Because you want to accept as many true propositions as possible and deny as many false ones as possible. Is that a good rationale?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for that cause, there are statements of predication, but there are also statements of numerical identity. One of the statements of numerical identity is Superman is Clark Kent, for instance. That's just saying two different things the same way, but they're identical in identity mathematically and by the conjunction is. We follow? Okay. Okay, so never mind what Christians might say about God of the Bible. The Bible says of itself, God is spirit. Okay? And then it lists the spirits, and then by the listing, it defines what it means by spirit. Here's the list: wisdom, knowledge, counsel, understanding, fear, power, and conservation. Now, you may have noticed that none of those things are physical. You may have noticed they're immaterial constructs. Do you agree with me that there is an immaterial construct that is applicable in reality, can even be bought and sold, called knowledge?
Of course.
Okay, what about the rest of them? You want me to say them again?
No, I understand those things exist, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Richard, you feel very energetic and stuff, and I feel the chat and everybody here is energetic. There's still 13 people watching. If you want to continue the conversation, feel
That was
free
the end of
to-
it. He just admitted my God. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
He did it too easily, though. He should have.
If you
He
want
should have
to,
struggled
okay, I'll
more.
rephrase it. If you want to continue the hangout, are you up for that? Are you going to bed? Is everything?
Well, I'm up for a cigarette. But after that,
the
yeah.
cigarette.
Yeah, it's only 7:30 where I am, guys. It's early.
Okay, so
yeah,
Richard,
it's only 8:30 here. So
Yeah, it's 8:30 here too. Yeah, if your God is these, it's like if you say, well, God is anger, or God is the feeling of love, or the smell of garlic.
Sure.
I
Sure.
love the smell of crushed garlic.
I'd like to
Sure.
explore that second option if we could.
But here's the only issue that
Why
one
should I
could
accept
argue.
that's a
But
God?
I didn't get to address. But go on.
Well, yeah, well, it's almost like defining God into existence. Fallacy.
No, it is exactly the description in the Bible. You are wrong.
Wow.
Right, but I'm saying even if the Bible makes the fallacy, it's still a fallacy, right?
Did you
No,
just say
I'm talking
white?
about an internal critique of the Bible and the validity thereof. We could talk about its value later.
Okay.
like
Is
15
it
minutes.
valid? Is it logically valid? I think so. That's why I'm like I told you before. I also identify as a pantheist because I
Yep.
see that everything that exists, including the unknown natural things that we don't know about yet, are constituted as God, so to speak. Because if I'm going to recognize God as the everything, the ultimate nature of reality, then why not? Because everything
That's
projects
fine,
out
except for-
from that into, yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine, but during your second cup of coffee, sitting there at the table in the morning, you go into the bathroom and wipe some God off of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
How? Why?
Okay, it's not a problem.
Exactly. Okay, that was easy.
You go sit down, and 5 minutes later, you wipe some God off your bum.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sure. Why not? Like
Richard?
it also these ideas of what couldn't be sacred
Sorry, Robbie.
is also a construct. You know, these are
Okay,
constructs.
I have to stop.
Okay.
I want to give Salvage Amino a chance to give herself a wee shout out and do what they're doing. And while she's doing that, Richard, you're going to schedule the after party. Right? So you schedule the after party. to the
Do we have
after
that
party.
many people interested? Give me like a vote or something on this, because I can't believe there'd be like even 5 people interested.
And the dead silence kills everybody. Just if you
In the
schedule
side
it.
chat,
I
In the
stayed
side
up
chat,
too
if
late
you
last
would-
night. I like need to actually crash out tonight. You know that children's book, if you give a mouse a cookie, where like you like give the mouse a cookie and then you end up like cleaning your whole house because of a series of unfortunate events. I want to make a parody of it that is like if you move your nightstand before bedtime. And it ends with me painting my ceiling at midnight because that's what happened to me last night.
If I can just say,
It's not a true story.
yeah. Sorry.
Maybe it's Adderall.
maybe
It's not exactly.
Is that
but
all?
I love it. I love it.
Is that the name of your god?
Okay, so here was what I was gonna say about gods, right? Because like if you're just gonna like slap a label on it, usually people would call me an atheist. I'm not much bothered by whatever labels y'all want to like put on me, as long as it's not done maliciously. I don't really
No.
care. Like I'm not whatever.
No.
But in my mind, like a god is like a concept, right? And to me, we could all like agree on that we're gonna, the 6 of us, that we are all going to pray to a god gobbledygook, that we are all gonna believe in.
No, I'm
and
out.
where did he go?
He said, "Good night, love you."
I'm not praying to no goblin juice. I'm out.
Oh, gobbly juice. That's what we're calling it. Okay, fine. And gobbly juice represents, loyalty and brotherhood, right? And so like that, it can be something that we all believe in, and like we all can find strength in that and find, like purpose in that, right? Whether or not like that's the actual real thing, us believing in it and like deciding that concept exists, like makes it as a concept real.
Exactly.
So to me, like, I don't think that, like, I think that most organized religions are a little bit ridiculous, and that like they're like it doesn't make sense once you like start really looking at the nuts and bolts. But that's not to say that like there isn't a god or a religion that does make sense. I don't know. I don't know. That's
That's the most.
my religious belief is like I don't fucking know. I don't, and it's also not that important that like I need to fucking find out.
So you believe in gobbly juice is what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe in gobbledygook. Also,
Say goodnight,
he
Math
kind
Pig.
of made me believe in Sasquatch like the other day. The last
We all
time
have
I-
to pause, or
Sasquatch
he won't
hates
go to
brotherhood
bed.
and loyalty.
Did you get that stream booked yet, Richard?
No one's interested. I did a survey.
So yeah, technically I have a channel. You can check it out if you want. I haven't uploaded anything in like a long ass fucking time, but yeah, you can also get you can get merch at my merch shop if you want. A purple
Leave
titties
the
mug.
purple titties alone.
Purple titties.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'll get kicked for mentioning Steve McRae.
No, I'm going to give you this.
I have
one.
special privileges
Give you the
just on this
Oh.
channel.
Oh no, you mentioned your privilege, so you lost your privilege. Yeah,
Pretty sure
you
it's
laughed at
Stanford
her
that you're not supposed to mention.
Everybody getting kicked. Everybody getting kicked.
I thought it was rocks being atheists.
And now you get kicked for saying that. Richard left. Richard actually left.
That would have been the perfect time to end the stream.
He fucking left.
Think for yourself.
I did not kick Richard. He fucking left. Richard, oh my goodness.
He had the same thought I did. He just assumed that that was the perfect ending to the stream.
Okay, right back.
Let's.
Love you all.
He's kicking the wrong person.
Think for yourself.
Think for yourself. Be kind and take care.